The EMX 125 Series is without doubt one of the most competitive championships there is. Talented young racers come from all over the world to try and qualify for this prestigious event. There are only 40 spaces on the line. Valkenswaard, Trentino, Mantova, St. Jean d'Angely, Tuschenthal, Lommel, and Uddevalla play host to the series in 2019. Like many before him, the ultimate EMX 125 champion is destined for greatness. For one rider, the journey to round 4 of the championship in France took a little longer than most.
My name's J.R Reyes. I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm 17 years old, and I'm here to see what the GP races are like.
Yeah, the 125 is it's a category that we push and we invest a lot 10, 12 years ago, because for us it's very, very important to develop on the same track during the same weekend in front of the camera on the very technical track the kids for the next generation. So for us, the 125 is really the core of the academy of MXGP. It was a long-term idea, but today we reach such a level which the 125 is really the access class of the World Championship. It's very cool because they are under the eyes of the professional teams and the professional riders. They are used to ride in front of TV, in front of thousands of spectators, and they are already used to ride in professional level. It's a very popular class. We have 7 races during the World Championship this year, and we have every weekend 2 groups, so more than 70 riders participating to this class, coming from many countries, coming from USA, coming from Australia, coming from all the parts of Europe. And this is the future of MXGP class. So for us it's a very important category. The main idea was to create a pyramid where you have a category that goes with the kids, from the kids to the very top. And it's not starting with the 125, it's starting with the 65. And this is the first step of the European Championship, 65, 85. Then you have the 125. On the 125 Championship, 7 races, we have the average age of 15 years old in the class of 125. So then the most talented, they go directly to MX2. The ones that need more time, they can go to the EMX 250. We see really the rider arriving in MX2, the average age is 20 years old. And then in MX2 we implement some years ago a rule for the age limit at 23, because we strongly believe that a rider which is very talented has to go to the MXGP class. For us the MXGP class is like the Formula 1 of motocross. So when you are talented enough and you want to be world champion, you have to go to the MXGP class. So the maximum age you can have in MX2 is 23. When you are very talented, and we saw the example of Tim Geiser, of J.R Reyes, you go even earlier, because this is the dream. The dream is to be world champion in MXGP.
I'm Roger Larson, the marketing director at 7. We're here at the French GP with J.R Reyes, number 552. This is his first attempt at qualifying for a GP in the EMX 125 class. I think the goal this weekend is just to qualify realistically. I think expecting anything more than that just isn't realistic for his first attempt at in this class. Just qualifying, get your feet wet and just learn from there, and then build for the next one. Yeah, I've heard they're pretty good. They're really fast. Yeah, I heard the qualifying is crazy.
With the European Championship, you have a different system than with the World Championship. World Championship, MX2 and MXGP, you have 40 spots for the grid, and you ride because you are good enough and you prove to be in the World Championship. In European Championship, you have the classification. Mainly from the beginning of the season in 125 and in 250, we have 2 groups. So it means more than 60 riders, but average we were about 80 riders per class, so 80 riders in 125, 80 riders in 250. And here you go for free practice, and then you go for time practice. Time practice gives you the qualification then to go to the final. And it's very, very tough to qualify because you have riders coming from all over the world, and the track are technical. You had the full program on Saturday with the GP riders on the track, so the track is very technical, a lot of routes, a lot of holes. Not easy at all to qualify, and but it's a good motivation, because you know the target is to be world champion, so it's a lot of sacrifice to to enter in the final, but at least you have the dream to do it.
So JR and his family came out to California about a month ago for the California Classic. While he was there, they kind of expressed some interest in coming here and racing even full time. So they were asking me what I thought and what the best route to go about doing that would be. So I made a call to Mark and Sam at Revo. They lined up a bike for us, and then a couple weeks later it kind of changed. He's like, hey, I got one better. Jackie Martin's willing to give you guys one of his full race bikes. So that kind of changed things, you know, put a little bit more pressure on him and myself. But you know, still, for the opportunity that he has to do this, it's super cool, and that just brings one more element to the whole thing. So I'm pretty fortunate, and so is he, that they were behind it and supporting it. I mean, the talent is super gnarly. These kids are super fast. I think one of the misconceptions is in the U.S. is just how deep the talent here is. So I'm hoping with this video that it'll translate just how fast these guys are.
Everybody's ready, so ladies and gentlemen, are you
To be fair, it's completely different. Like amateur scene in America, you have like a 5-lap sprint, and then the longest moto of the year is Loretta's, which you have one 20-minute moto a day. It's a big difference going from a 5-lap race to a 30-minute race. Everything's different, from the tracks to the eating to the sleeping to the driving. It's just a lot harder, to be fair. Well, even when I was in America, I had no idea what EMX was, and I came over and then, yeah, I got smoked straight away. So yeah, it's a big learning curve, and I think people in America don't realize how good like the amateur scene is in Europe. It's just a lot more professional. You race the same day as the pros, same track as the pros, almost the same schedule as the pros, so it's a lot different.
We are very, very proud about this European Championship, because for us it's really an investment for the future. But by doing that, we are able to help riders to improve their skills and to get the habit to ride in professional condition. Before to do that, it was some European Championship, but left and right, not on GP track. So the conditions were not the same, the public was not here. So then you were having riders that were arriving for the World Championship, but they were lost. They were lost because of the pressure, they were lost because the track were too much technical, and now it's kind of school for the World Championship. Thanks to the European Championship, we are filling up the MX2 and the MXGP class, and we see the level of the World Championship the last years increase a lot, and also in terms of talents. We have talents from many different countries. So why today Tim Geiser is one of the biggest rider in the world? Because he came through the European Championship. He ride 2 hours, 3 hours per weekend on a bike on the GP track for 6-7 years, and then it improves your skills.
J.R. Reyes crossed the world to test his speed against some of the fastest 125 riders on the planet. He missed out on a qualifying spot by less than half a second. This only fueled his fire to return stronger than ever. J.R. Reyes will be back.
Today was a pretty rough day. It didn't really go as planned. I think it was an eye-opener for everybody involved. I think, like I said this morning, the goal from the start was to just qualify, and You know, he came up just a little bit short. I think to ask anything more of that from anybody is just unrealistic. You know, just to come here and just do good right off the bat, that just isn't realistic. But this is what he says he wants to do, so I think he wants to come back and give it another shot. He'll go home, do Loretta's, and then we'll come up with a plan after that.
Yeah, things didn't go as I planned it to be. Pretty bummed. It's awesome here, and I really want to come back and regroove and work harder and be racing.
Tough because you think coming from America, you're coming where the great, like the best the riders are at the moment, but it's not like that. So I think when you come here, you just got to try to take everything in, learn as much as you can. Definitely, before you come to Europe, you have to work on sprint speed because it's all about qualifying and yeah, just take in what they're doing over here and try to take it to America and just learn.
I would say that you don't have to give it up because when you want to be professional, it's a lot of sacrifice and it's a lot of effort, but then when you can get a grid for the World Championship and you ride in front of 30,000 people and you have a fantastic professional team around you, then it's a kind of dream. So I wish him to continue his efforts and to come back, and for sure it will pay off.
Yeah, so the plan is, you know, go back home, do some work, and try to come back maybe for Sweden.